As I mentioned in my video for 6.2, 6.3 is fairly easy. It's a 2 and a tiny bit lap race, and so I'm going to take the 2 laps differently to show you 2 different ways you could do this. The first thing I recommend is we're going to try to do a nice clean lap, and we don't want anyone in our way. So just waste some time. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Those are hypercars, so I don't have to waste a lot of time, but it didn't say anything about off track. I just need to finish faster than Zoe. Now, I did run this once before just to do a test because we had a stage like this earlier, and I took it really slow just to see if the position that I finished the race in mattered, and it didn't. Well, it also doesn't matter for this one. So as soon as you set the fastest lap, you are considered the first place driver. So here we go. Coming up to the famous Eau Rouge Raidillon section. With the upgrades I've got, you can take this flat out, but you do have to take it correctly for that. And there we go, going up the straights here. Getting on the brakes right about there. And I hold the brakes a pinch longer so that from here I can stay full throttle if I get the trajectory correct. Then we've got the hairpin. I'm braking actually earlier than I do in some cars. The increased upgrades have changed that. Very small braking point there. I was kind of surprised about that. And also for this corner, I'm not on the brakes for too long. I could have pushed this a little bit harder, but it's good enough. This really isn't that hard. You'll see here that I'm going to have lots of time to play with. And here I was trying to stay full throttle, and yeah, didn't mean to go off track. Again, you can go off track as much as you want and it's not going to fail you. Full throttle through here and until the last chicane. Now I've got to pay attention to the times. Zoe put up a 1:47, and based on my test, her second lap is going to be more like a mid 1:46. So I don't know if she was doing some drafting or what she was doing, but she's a little bit faster on her second lap. Now look at this though. I mean, I don't want to cross this fast. I'm going to aim for about a 1:45. So I'm going to slow down here. And there we go. Yeah, so a low 1:45, that's great. Okay, second method of doing this is to take off-track cuts. So if you're having trouble with this track, you could try that. Now, it's not going to work if you've got high assists on, and maybe even some low assists. Like brakes don't like it if you're off track very much. Traction control and steering assist high really don't like it when you're off track. This first cut here, you can't do this in very many cars, but in this one you can. I'm pretty close to that wall. Now when you get that right, like that was pretty good. I could have taken it a pinch better, but you shave off piles of time when you do that. It's kind of ridiculous. For the rest of this, until the last chicane, you want to stay on track. So I brake very shortly after my car jumps like that. I could have pushed this a little bit harder, but this is good enough. Here, you can use the signs on your left as kind of a reference for a braking point. So if you get this right, you can stay full throttle here, but there we go. I mean, that wasn't bad. I think I lifted for a pinch. And I'm already catching people, which is kind of surprising. Hopefully I can get around this guy nice and cleanly. I don't think that should be a problem. Oh, there we go. Zoe finished her other lap. And oh, nuts. Don't do that if you want to set a really good time. And then take this big cut, and look at that. Big pack of cars. Okay. I'm at this point earlier than I was last time. I am not going to cross the line like this. I'm going to waste a little bit of time here. I'm going to cross just a little bit later than my last lap. There we go. So let's see what Zoe did. A nice mid 1:46 for Zoe. On to 6.4.